Welcome to the Down There Where podcast. I'm Amy Milne. This is the show where we get loud about women's below-the-belt health from menstruation to menopause and everything in between. So many women continue to silently endure issues like endometriosis, PCOS, menstrual disorders, and menopause-related challenges without the proper support. We're done with the whispers. We're here to break the taboos, share the stories, and have the conversations no matter how uncomfortable. Whether you're dealing with your own health journey, supporting someone who is, or just ready to join the movement, you're in the right place. Let's get loud. Okay, I have something to ask you. When was the last time someone made bone health sexy? Like actually sexy? Because today's guest is on a mission to do exactly that, and she might be the only person bold enough to pull it off. Marie Berry is a serial entrepreneur, a global marketing powerhouse, and the founder of Evo, a women's wellness brand redefining what strength looks like in midlife. Starting with a weighted vest designed specifically for women's bodies, built to support bone health. She comes from a lineage of female warriors, and it shows. She's not waiting for the medical system to catch up. She's building the thing women actually need right now in this season of life, because midlife strength isn't a trend, it's a necessity. And around here, we are here for that. Marie, welcome to the Down There Affair podcast. Let's get loud. I'm super excited to welcome Marie to the podcast. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited. I can see Marie right now. Our listeners can't. If you're watching on YouTube, you can. And she is wearing what she's about to talk about, and I'm jealous through the video. So, it's so cool. Okay, Marie, tell everybody who you are.
Yes, I'm Marie Berry. I'm the founder of Evo, and Evo is a women's wellness brand focused on bone health. And our first product is a weighted vest, the one that I'm wearing right now.
Yep. It's gorgeous. I want you to tell me about the vest because I looked on your website, and I'm in Canada and you're in the US, and I can't get them here yet. Although I know someone who could maybe bring one over the border for me. But I'm already so jealous. So for anyone who's not watching on YouTube right now, you can't see this, so you'll need to go. But like, you have a place to put stuff. That's and it's a beautiful color. That's one thing that I don't have with the one I got on Amazon. So tell me about your product.
Yes, I'm happy to tell you everything about it, all the features. But maybe I can tell you first kind of what sparked this idea.
Please.
Because it's like, I'm really on a mission to make bone health sexy now.
Great.
And so this is like the first iteration of, the first product.
Yeah.
But it was all sparked by an osteopenia diagnosis. So I, by chance, found out that I had lower bone density than I should have for my age.
Okay.
And at that point, I was like, WTF. I'm
Right.
like doing triathlons and play tennis, have always been active and healthy. How can that be? And then actually learned about some of the stats of bone health, and that it actually peaks in your mid-20s, and from your mid-30s, you start losing bone density.
Mm-hmm.
And then women, especially during perimenopause and menopause, due to hormonal changes, we can lose up to 15% of bone density.
Wow.
And there's some, even crazier stats, like 1 in 2 women over 50 will have an osteoporosis-related fracture.
Wow, that's
that's
huge.
50%, yeah.
Wow.
But in the US, I'm not sure about Canada, but I assume it's similar. In North America, the doctors and insurances only send you to get a bone scan, like a DEXA scan, when you're in your 60s. Obviously, way too late,
Right.
So this is why, I then started to change a lot of things when I asked the doctor, like, okay, what can I do now with this diagnosis? And there's like medication or lifestyle changes or both. And the fact that for me, I didn't have osteoporosis yet. So I've heard and read about a lot of cases where you can reverse osteoporosis or
Okay.
osteopenia, I then changed a lot of things. So I started weight-bearing movements much more. So
Mm-hmm.
think of lifting, jumping, and like carrying a load.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, one of those things of carrying a load is walking with a weighted vest.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing that as well. I also changed my diet. I was vegan for 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
which probably didn't help.
Okay.
But yeah, so then walking with a weighted vest, last year, a lot of my friends reached out to me because it became a trend, right? Like
Right.
a lot of women walking in weighted vests.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when I started kind of just for fun, a little challenge and did a 30-day rocking challenge with thinking with like a handful of my friends, and we were in different cities. So it was all just through WhatsApp as an accountability
Yeah.
thing. But then word of mouth, a friend of a friend wanted to join. So we were like 100 women within a week. And
Whoa.
so everyone asked me, which vest should I use? And so that's when I didn't have a good answer because
Mm.
I had actually tried all the vests by then,
Mm-hmm.
from like the Amazon ones to the more premium
Mm-hmm.
ones, and some that are the premium ones mainly are like more like CrossFit
Okay.
male
Yeah.
vests. A lot of them have like a metal plate in the front and back. Um, and none of them was really comfortable and like made for women.
Right.
And so I called some of my friends. I actually started my career at Adidas. So
Oh,
I have
cool.
a big network. Yeah, I worked for them in Germany and in Paris and in Asia. So I called some of my friends and asked if they have a better vest, and they didn't. And so that's when I guess my founder brain started thinking. And I saw the opportunity, and that's when I started sketching. So fast forward, now we have this company and the vest as our first product, which comes in 3 colors.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, it's like really designed for the female body. I work with a
Yeah.
physiologist to like work on the proper weight distribution. So you see,
Wow.
there's like weight in the back and here on the sides.
Yep.
You can take all of these individual weight pouches out.
Cool.
So it's up to 8 that you can put in. So the total weight would be 20 pounds.
Great.
And then you can put it in the washing machine. There's a lot of pockets. So you
Mm-hmm.
can put your phone,
Yep. Oh, so smart.
lipstick, lip gloss, everything. It even has like some hidden pockets for like credit cards. So
Wow.
yeah, I did that, and it's the only vest that's friendly for the girls. You see, it goes around.
Yeah, it sure does. For our listeners who
It's-
aren't watching on YouTube, it actually goes around your
Yeah.
boobs because
Yes.
the other ones don't.
They're like kind of going above and like,
Yep.
yeah. And I mean, I don't even have that much, but it's still not comfortable,
No.
And then, yeah, you can slide it up and down to see, what the best fit is for your
Oh, I
body.
love that.
And then what I believe is really kind of a differentiator is the fact that every vest comes with a free DEXA scan by Body Spec.
Oh, cool.
They are in the US the largest DEXA scan provider. And so because that was like my initial spark, right?
Right.
Understanding your bone density, understanding body composition. So now, yeah, every vest purchase comes with a free complimentary DEXA scan.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
awesome. And so what does a DEXA, for those who don't know, what does a DEXA scan do?
it can measure your bone density.
Okay.
So, and it's like compared to other women in our case, to showcase kind of the benchmark and see if you're above or below average. And
Right.
so there's also a different scan. So if that shows that you have lower bone density, then you should get like a diagnostic scan to understand where exactly you would have osteopenia. A lot of
Okay.
women have it in their hips.
Okay.
But yeah, so the reason that a weighted vest can help is because you put on more weight. Like it's also, again, going to weight-bearing movements.
Right.
you're putting weight on your body. And if you work your way up to 10% of your body weight,
Hmm.
it helps to put more stress on your body, more
Right.
stress on your bones and your skeletal
Hmm.
frame. And with that, spur bone growth. So
Mm.
that's kind of the technique behind like a weighted vest. But then we often combine it when we're in a group. We
Hmm.
combine it with other things like jumping. We're doing jump squats.
Hmm.
There's a lot of research out there, like by Dr. Vonda Wright,
Hmm.
if you know her,
Yep.
or Dr. Jocelyn Wittstein, that talk about like jumping and that impact.
Hmm.
And so that's why, yeah, we often, when we meet and walk together, we additionally also jump and do exercises.
It's those things that we did as kids that we should have always been like keep playing skip rope. Like we all meet to have a
Mm-hmm.
cocktail, but maybe we should be having, a cocktail and a double dutch because
100%.
it's so funny when you say like it's so curious when you say jumping because it's one thing I do at my gym. Like we start with bouncing and it's between jumping and bouncing and then also balance because it's amazing. I mean, no, that doesn't have to do with bone density, but
100%.
at the same time, that's what we lose. And so if your bone density is low and then you don't have balance and you fall, like that's when hips
Exactly.
and
It's very
fractures
related.
happen,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
it's crazy that some of those like basic things that we did naturally, instinctively as kids in the playground weren't actually even something we were told to keep doing even at the gym, right? Like you're in this space right now and and I'm living it myself in menopause is like we weren't told to lift weights necessarily. It was the 20-minute
Yeah.
workout and do all the cardio. And now we're dealing with all this stuff that
Yeah.
people didn't know about people chose not to learn about our bodies
Mm-hmm.
in order for us to be healthier in our later age.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think to your point of like doing a lot of things, like I just want to emphasize too, the vest is not the one
Right.
solution, to support your bone health. It's really a mix of things.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't replace weightlifting. So
Right.
you do need to lift heavy.
Yep.
This is like an additional way to put low resistance
Mm-hmm.
or have a low resistance training and like up level your walks. But I do love that now, and I'll get into the community aspect
Mm-hmm.
later, but a lot of women that are part of our community, they initially are intimidated by the gym or,
Mm-hmm.
like doing some crazier workouts, but often
Totally.
join the community because they're initially curious about walking with weight and
Mm-hmm.
then stay because of the community and the conversations we're having. And I love hearing stories when they then feel empowered and stronger and then actually join maybe a friend to go to the
Mm-hmm.
gym and start weightlifting. So I think it's really like that mix of things and that kind of, motivation that we can give each other.
Absolutely. Well, after my hysterectomy, I started to lift because I wasn't going to I watched my body changing and I started listening to the things that Dr. Stacey Sims was one of the first women that I encountered that was talking
Right.
about weightlifting. And so I devoured her book and watched what she was doing. And then obviously all this stuff starts to come out over the last couple of years. And I wanted to be strong. And, I grew up wanting to be skinny or thinking skinny was what we were all supposed to be. And then it was this mind shift change of like, skinny's not going to get me to 95 and still walking.
Right.
Strong is.
Yeah.
And I was lucky I had a girlfriend. When you speak of community, I had a girlfriend and we started with a personal trainer because I was so intimidated
Mm-hmm.
about going to a gym. And I've been to gyms, but I would go to a class or I would do a yoga or I would do a jump something, but I wouldn't walk over to a weight bench and know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it
100%.
was so intimidating. So to have a trainer and now I love it. I'm addicted. Like I'm so excited. And
Mm-hmm.
I got myself not a very nice looking weighted vest a year ago and started walking with one. And, and I love that you bring it to bone health because I feel like when you research the things and they're like, well, weighted vests don't really do much. And it's like, well, if maybe not for this, but clearly it does for what you're talking about. And you've done the research, you've created it.
Yeah. And I think, again, this is our first product.
Mhm.
And I think it's like whatever works consistently and
Mhm.
that, like women continue to do and get their bodies moving is great.
Yeah, agreed.
So I think that's where the weighted vest, like I said, it's not the one
Right.
workout tool, but I think it's a great complement to what you do,
Mhm.
or for many, also a great starting point,
Mhm.
and then kind of build up that courage to start lifting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that we offer the bone or DEXA
Yeah.
scan is like something where I just want women to be aware of it,
Mhm.
and um, for me, it was sparked based on bone health,
Mhm.
but also body composition. I mean,
Right.
just putting more weight on it, you have a higher calorie burn. And DEXA scans also, they give you body composition.
Mhm.
So I think it's just in general promoting a healthier lifestyle. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, now with GLP-1s and and I'm not judging
Mhm.
like or saying all GLP-1s or everyone who's taking it is bad, not at all, but like unfortunately one of the side effects is
Mhm.
brittle bone
Yep.
and losing bone density, and just knowing that with every new drug or
Mhm.
new thing, like there is abuse of it.
Mhm.
So which is an unfortunate trend, that
Yeah.
means there will be more women that are losing bone and losing muscle. And so if not done in parallel with
Mhm.
strength training, it can look, very dire. So
Absolutely.
yeah, this is why we started this. But I think to talk about the aspect of the
Mhm.
community, which is something that, to be honest, was like quite unexpected, like similar
Yeah.
to that initial moment of like, oh, we're a handful of friends, and then we're
Right.
like 100, and then now it's grown so fast and organically in different cities. So we have 3 weekly walks in Miami, 2 in Austin, 1 in LA, and in the summer in the Hamptons.
Oh, cool.
So it's like popping up, and I just love seeing that, and
Yeah.
the fact that we're building it together.
And those are in
Meant
person, right? Like those are people meeting in real life to be together, to be health forward. Like that is
Yes.
so incredible.
Yeah, we have around, like, everything is managed right now through WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So we have around 600 women walking
Wow.
weekly in different groups. And then we have, like, yeah, different city by city kind of
Yeah.
groups. And then we have some events. A lot of we partner a lot with other
Mhm.
organizations. We have, if you know Tamsin Fadell,
Mhm.
who wrote How to Menopause and
Yeah.
who brought 2 documentaries to life and has a podcast, The
Mhm.
Tamsin Show. She's a huge fan and of the brand and
Yeah.
also became a friend. So we've done a lot of events with her in different cities,
Cool.
which is great when you see like the communities coming together. So yeah, definitely for your listeners, I'd love for them to join the community. There's
Yeah.
never like the pressure to wear my vest,
Right.
so you can come with your own, walk without. We always have a few loaners
I
available.
love that.
So yeah.
Well, it's just it's funny how when you start something, I mean, even for us, like we've started the Down There Fair. It's a walk, it's a charity event. We need to raise money for women's below the belt health because it's not really happening right now. And so, but through that, the podcast and community, like it comes back to community so much in terms of like we all need it. And whatever path we're on or whatever journey we're on, or if we're ready for the vest or not ready for the vest yet, or we're going to jump and walk and all the things, just by virtue of us sharing is just helping educate us so that we're empowered to make better decisions for ourselves and our bodies. And that's, you get to learn and you get to experience. Like if you don't have that, and especially that firsthand in-person experience is just so beautiful. Like bringing people together, like who you would never have thought that, right? Like when you started what you did, you wouldn't be like, oh my God, I now
Yeah.
have 600 women that
Yeah.
walk all over the US together. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
No, it's beautiful. And it's like the one most beautiful byproduct of it. But also the fact that now, we're building it together, quote
Right.
unquote. Like I learn from a lot of the women in the community
Hmm.
because, I know what they like,
Right.
let's say all the pockets. And I
Right.
know that I can test new prototypes
Hmm.
with some of the women. So that's been really valuable. But then outside of that, when I see the friendships that happen separately from me, like
Yeah.
it's just great to see. And yeah, like I feel blessed that like I never saw myself as a community lead or
Right.
like and then my husband is saying, "What are you talking about? You've always been that person, like
Right.
just with my group of
Yeah.
friends." But doing it now as part of the brand is really fun.
Yeah, because it's natural. It happened. It's that's your those are the people like that you it also means you've touched on something that we need.
Yeah.
And to it's putting our health forward first, which is, it hasn't been a thing. And not only are you encouraging that by virtue of what you're doing, you're also creating products that fit our bodies.
Hmm.
And so we can actually do the things we need to do for ourselves and feel comfortable and not be putting on some dudes. And not that we can't throw on, who doesn't love, a big giant sweatshirt every once in a while, but I don't want to start walking in a weighted vest that's meant for a dude who's twice my weight and size.
Yeah.
Like, no, thank you.
Exactly. I mean, that was like the key thing when I started walking with a weighted vest and I like bought all of them,
Hmm.
and sometimes I thought like, okay, that this one is not that bad,
Right.
but then it kind of hurt my spine because, it's
Right.
like our spines are curved more.
Hmm.
And yeah, like I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's like really some of the basics,
Yeah.
and like I want to be able to wash it.
Right.
Like some of those things.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I don't know. In the beginning, it was really like, let's just get the basics right.
Right.
But then I think the fact that I did work for Adidas and
Right.
like I love fashion and had a stint at Chanel, like led me to build this product that is more than like fitness gear, but
Right.
where I'm hoping it's like beautifully designed and
Hmm.
yeah, more sexy, right?
Totally.
Versus um yeah, like
Utilitarian, right? Like you've built
exactly,
something
yeah.
I want to wear. Like when I first got my vest that, I do have boobs, and putting like it's uncomfortable and it doesn't sit on my shoulders right because it doesn't, like, I have the best I could find similar to you. I bought a bunch of them and I kind of settled,
Yeah.
and it was uncomfortable and I didn't love
Yeah.
it. And I felt weird walking down the street wearing it, where I don't, it's already hard. And I'm someone who's comfortable lifting weight and making that decision. If you're not even
Right.
there
Yeah.
yet, you're not even going to leave your house in it.
Yeah. Exactly. Like that's one thing where it's like I don't want to feel like I'm part of a SWAT team.
Right.
And then the other part I felt like was because I also looked into more kind of osteoporosis or
Yeah.
osteopenia related products and vests. But then I feel like, you look, I don't know, everything starts with osteo and
Right.
it's like feels very medical.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's also not what I want. So
No.
I think it's like, yeah, prevention shouldn't feel clinical and it
Right.
shouldn't
I love that.
feel like utilitarian. Like you
Yep.
said, like prevention can also be beautiful.
Yep.
And I think that's where also the community, I see a lot of the conversations happening and like knowledge transfer
Yep.
because before, the phone and whatever, like
Hmm.
when we go back in time, prevention was really knowledge transfer of the older, wiser ones to the
Right.
younger generation and like, intergenerational exchange. And I
Hmm.
think that's what the community is doing now.
Right.
And sometimes I'm surprised how many younger women are
Mm.
interested as well.
Hmm.
Because initially, like I'm turning 43 this year, and I kind of thought, okay, it's like mainly for women in
Right.
their like between 40 and 65,
Right.
let's say. And that's definitely our core audience.
Right.
But I can see as we moved into different markets, especially like LA and
Hmm.
Austin, a lot of women that are in their early 30s or women that just had a baby that want to get back into shape
Hmm.
are really interested in it. And that's like inspiring for me to see as well.
Right.
And for example, for Mother's Day, we're hosting a mother-daughter walk
Oh,
where,
cool.
yeah, we are trying to foster that,
Yeah.
like knowledge transfer between the older and
Yeah.
younger.
Which somewhat speaks to, like, talk to me about your name and something else that this is steeped in. And I think the community piece and the knowledge
Yes.
transfer goes right back into your roots. Like, it's kind of like your husband was like, "What do you mean? You've done this all along." And it's almost like it's
Yeah.
innate. So tell me about the name. I think this is
Yes.
so important.
So Evo comes from Ivote, which is a Guarani word for flower. And the
Hmm.
Guarani is an indigenous tribe in South America in different countries. And yeah, I was born in Bolivia and with indigenous roots, but kind of reconnected with it only recently again because I was adopted as a baby from my German parents.
Hmm.
They had already two kids, and then adopted me from an orphanage in Bolivia when I was a baby, and then they had another child. So I grew up with a family of six with three siblings. They are blonde, blue eyes, and I grew up in a small town in Germany. But my parents always told me about my
Hmm.
background, and so I grew up with it in a very playful way,
Hmm.
and in a weird way. When I think about it now, I feel like I was actually quite connected to my indigenous roots then,
Hmm.
because as a kid, you always, I don't know, I feel like I had photos from when my parents were in Bolivia and they brought toys and I don't know, blankets and things. I looked at the photos and was like, often playing like with my
Yeah.
siblings about like when we were like as if we were in Bolivia. And
Yeah.
so I felt like I was quite connected to it. Um, but then I moved for my studies. I moved first to London, then Madrid, Paris, and then I lived in
Cool.
China for 6 years. So I took on a more international identity,
Hmm.
and I loved it. Like I don't regret anything, but it's just, I kind of lost that like origin,
Hmm.
and became a global citizen.
Right.
And then I moved to the US a decade ago, roughly, and then during the pandemic to Miami.
Hmm.
And here it might be a mix of things. It might have been like us moving to Miami, us having kids, and
Hmm.
looking into the eyes of like my kids
Yeah.
and seeing they have definitely some indigenous features. And also, I guess, like just life stage
Hmm.
where you think more about, your origins. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, it's only been the last few years that I'm reconnecting with those roots and the fact that I'm actually from a lineage of female warriors. And so a lot of the brand is like
Hmm.
an homage to that female warrior energy. And so you see, some of the things. This is
Yeah.
also a top underneath,
It's
but like,
gorgeous.
a little bit like
Yep.
tribal
I
and
love it.
inspired. And I love that. Yeah, so that's like kind of my creative side and feels very personal.
Yeah.
Not everyone knows this, but I'm having fun building the brand that way.
Well, and that's why I would say, like, as a marketer myself and having built products, not like experiences and the things that I'm doing, is that if it comes from, your insides, it's genuine and real and authentic. And,
Yeah.
there's layers to what you're doing, right? And that's what makes you special, and that's what makes your product special, which is then what that's why you have community already. Like,
Yeah.
it's it's so natural, and it literally comes right back down to the core of where you came from,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, it's I say this a lot. This is one of my favorite quotes by Dolly Parton. She said, "Find out who you are and do it on purpose."
I love
And
that.
it's easy to like listen to it, but it's
Mhm.
hard to internalize. And I think I understand it now. I feel like
Cool.
it's only now that I'm actually like let the indigenous side, like my identity, like sit with me for a second,
Right.
because it was just like my life was so hectic and I was like chasing the next job and the
Mm-hmm.
next, experience, different move, that I didn't really have time to listen to the inner voice. It was just a lot of noise.
Right.
And it's only now that I feel like I'm, reconnecting with my roots, but also with like, what do I actually want to do? And it now feels much more like a calling
Right.
than a job.
I love that. That's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being here with me today and learning. I just want to come to Miami and walk with you and get a vest.
You have to. Yes, you
And
have
I'm going to. We're going to
to.
tell Blake, who works on my team, who's a friend of yours as well, that we're just going to meet in Miami and go for walks in really
Yes,
cool vests.
please.
So
Let's do
I
it.
am sure people listening are going to want to get in touch. We're going to put it in the show notes, but please tell people, how can they get in touch with you?
Yes. So our website is Evo Warrior,
Okay.
YVO warrior.com.
Mm-hmm.
That same as our IG handle, and
Great.
you can send a DM if you have any specific questions.
Okay.
Someone from the team will respond. You can also send an email. My personal email is marie@evowarrior.com. So
Okay.
I'm trying to respond to all messages that are
Amazing.
coming my way. And
Beautiful.
feel free to check out in the bio. There's also a link tree with all the ongoing walks
Oh,
and
cool.
our
That's what I was going to
events.
say. Yeah. If people want to
Yeah.
come and that would be amazing. That would be
Yeah, we
awesome.
also have a virtual, like global
Oh,
tribe
cool.
in WhatsApp. So there's people from, actually, I'm not sure about Canada, but we have many people from London and Germany.
All
So,
right.
like some cities where we don't have an in-person tribe. So that's another way where you can join. We have challenges. Our head of
Okay.
community, Jackie, is often doing like breath work, which is amazing, like guided
Cool.
walks, which
Yeah.
you can, just save and like listen to later on. So feel free to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to be the first one from Canada to sign up for the tribe, and then others can join us and we can have our down there affair walks, and then we'll all be ready to roll in September.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Amazing. Well, so nice to talk to you, and I look forward to walking with you soon. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks for getting loud with us today on the Down There Where podcast. If this conversation resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe so you never, ever miss an episode. And leave us a review. It would help us reach more women who've been told to suffer in silence. And here's the thing, awareness isn't enough. We need action, we need funding, we need change. That's where the Down There Affair comes in. We're a global peer-to-peer fundraising movement putting menstrual health center stage, from menstruation to menopause and everything in between. Diseases affecting men receive twice the funding of those affecting women. Only 11% of research dollars go to women's health. We're here to change that. Visit downtherewhere.org to register for our next walk, start fundraising, or join the movement. We can't do this alone. Oh, and follow us on social at the Down There Affair, because this conversation doesn't stop when the episode ends. Whether you're dealing with your own health journey, supporting someone who is, or ready to demand the care we all deserve, you're in the right place. Getting uncomfortable is where change happens, and we're never going back. I'm Amy Milne. Stay loud.
Oh, that was binge-worthy.